NFL team, the Washington Redskins, take on Carson Wentz and the Super Bowl champion, Philadelphia Eagles. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Washington Redskins. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in the midst of a season-crushing losing streak. It's up to 9 games now.
And I don't have a PhD in psychology, but you can see it in their body language. This is not a team that is organized and been ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. And here a look at the offensive starters for the Redskins.
Jordan Reed's coming off of an injury-plagued season that set him back and held him to just 6 games. And Washington's definitely hoping he can get back to his 2016 Pro Bowl form. That made him one of the most dangerous tight ends in the game. And in fact, when he runs routes, it's often equated to a basketball player with a great crossover move. A lot of guys just can't stick with him.
Throwing is Smith. Incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. 3rd down here. The secondary, Charles, much maligned during the week. They didn't have their best game in the loss last week, but a nice play there.
Yeah, and I just know what they went through last week. I mean, ever since that time, their pride was hurt. They kept getting reminded of it in the local media, had to watch it on tape, and you know the coaches just got after them. They came in ready to play.
And that will be incomplete as well.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So now here come to get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
False start, offense.
Well, it's a 3rd and somewhat manageable now, not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deep.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions and not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know some big guy, we're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
After the interception, here's Smith. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. again. Smith. And it's caught. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Vernon Davis, his second touchdown on the season. And the Redskins have taken a first-quarter lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old.
Personal foul.
They're the rocked-up wide receivers
Defense.
who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. This is Ajayi, and he stopped immediately there. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen. Now Wentz on 3rd down. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the... He's got a man complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one goes for 36 yards. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And he fires one that's intercepted. And it's Clinton-Dix with a pick. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. They'll run it now out of the gun. Broken tackle. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and there's creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up 1st downs.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Back to the ground. This time it's Peterson. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Bear in mind they had 2 interceptions last week, but that was in 4 quarters. They've got 2 here in the first quarter alone.
And the unsung people in this street, the pass rushers, because most of the time...
And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Zach Brown not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is...
And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Then it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And he'll actually lose 6 yards on the return, but I don't think they care. They've got the football back. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the...
Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out. A shotgun snap for Smith. Got a man out of the backfield. It's Chris Thompson. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Caught on the right side, Reed. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Jordan Reed, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. It's time for our player spotlight right now as we get a look. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Out of the gun, Smith. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They'll run it now out of the gun. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Handoff comes to Peterson. Down right around the 25. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on second down is Smith. And he finds the tight end, Reed. Sharp there with his feet. Gets him a little extra space. And then drop just inside the 20. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. They'll run it. Here's Peterson. Peterson a 1st down and more. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Adrian Peterson, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that makes the score 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. He struggled. His team has struggled. You talked to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game, because so far this has been a real struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the interceptions, trying to turn it around. On second down, here's Wentz. It's complete left side to Aguilar. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play. On 1st down, Wentz. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know. But all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
It's complete to Golden Tate. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. And Tate's got it. And he's got this down to the 35. A gain of 13 and also a first down. Again, it's Wentz. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Caught right side, it's Jeffrey. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. He's going to let one fly for Tate. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Golden Tate, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score defensively. How do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense and you give them credit for going for and having that kind of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
Adrian Peterson now getting ready to go again on offense. At his current pace, sure looks well in line for a 1,000-yard season. But some of the older folks watching that remember the 12-game seasons in the NFL probably say, man, it was a lot harder to do that back then.
Yeah, even the 14-game seasons. And, you know, when we talk to those veteran runners, some of those guys who wear gold jackets, right, and appear in Canton, they look at this and go, you know, it's kind of like going to school and taking 5 years to get your degree instead of just 4.
A victory lap. Now, they also used to walk uphill to school both ways.
In the snow.
In the snow.
Blizzards.
Milk was 5 cents. Hey, but he's having a great year not to take anything away from him. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. That's good for a Redskin first down. Richardson on the reception from Smith.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And this will be incomplete. He was looking to get that one to Chris Thompson, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
To throw is Smith, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, but I believe it was covered by an Eagle. It was, and Philadelphia is going to hold on to the football. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Wentz. Screen pass to Sproles. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. The Eagles on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Here's Ajayi. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. They do go for it. It's Wentz. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the safety, T.J. Ward. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Smith now to throw. Josh Doxson's got it complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. Right hash mark of 42-yard attempt. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. A final shot before half for Wentz. He's going to loft one deep left side, and that's caught inside the 35. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Redskins who have the lead here. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is
do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Wentz going to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Into the Redskins have it, they do. careless with a football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, two hands. Get two hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal.
That run is what defenses don't like about dealing with Adrian Peterson. His ability to drop a shoulder and run through contact.
And he's amazing at keeping those strong legs going, isn't he?
For him, no run is ever truly over. I mean, he's actually not even convinced that when they blow the whistle, he's actually down. That's how he finishes runs in a big way.
He'll get it up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Call it a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, and he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Jordan Reed, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Redskins capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Hopkins with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Now Wentz. A dump off to Sproles. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. To throw is Wentz. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a 1st down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Sproles. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The safety, T.J. Ward, in on the stop.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get out. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Zach Brown in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. Here we go on 4th down with Wentz.